Welcome to this week's deep dive. This week we have the very fabulous Johanna from Access Promotion. She's the VP of Midwest Sales. So welcome, Johanna.
Hi, I'm with the fabulous Kate. Thanks for having me.
You are one of our super chefs in that you run the mentor program for Promo Kitchen on top of everything else that you do. So we're very excited to have you on here. And this week, our topic was sort of on prospecting and business growth. And you did a chef takeover where you went in, you asked your questions, you got your information. And when we ended it, we're like, it was so crazy. It was such a fabulous chat. We ended up being like, we didn't hear from you at all for any of your questions. So we're taking this deep dive to go a little to deep dive into what your answers would be.
Yeah, it was really fun sort of manning the controls that day, and love to do it again. But yeah, I felt like I couldn't respond because I wanted to engage with everyone's comments and hear what they were saying. And by the time I wanted to respond, it was like, the hour's over.
I know. Every time I'm driving the bus on that one afterwards, it's just like you slump in your seat out of exhaustion.
100%. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, you can swear there's smoke coming from your computer some days.
Yes, all that.
Well, perfect. So we're going to take three that we really liked and go deeper on them. So our first question, or your first question, was prospecting. How do you gather your list of prospects? Where do you look for your hunt? So what is your suggestion and advice to people on this?
So I'll start this off by saying I did a presentation on this at Common at SKU Camp in Pittsburgh. So if anyone's interested in hearing more about my approach and what I've done and some tips, you can go to Common SKU's website and download the video. It's on Facebook, LinkedIn, the Twitter, all those things. But for me, I love the gather. I think it's really exciting to find companies. I'm constantly reading things like Cranes or Built in Chicago and sort of looking to align myself with companies that I think are doing exciting things. I find it to be the really fun part of the process to like add cool companies to the list. It'll sound like something like this. It'll be like, coolest office spaces in Chicago and who won best places to work last year. So we'll sort of skim those lists. Always exciting to see if we have current clients on there because it's a conversation for us, but also go after clients that are on the list we don't know and say something like, I noticed you won best places to work in 2018. That's really cool. Access has been on that list for the last 7 years and we're really proud of it. Are you guys doing new hire kits? How are you engaging company culture? So I can relate to it because I'm really proud of the work that we're doing over at Access and then align myself with that company because they have the same culture and values. So immediate conversation starter. So people that we want to work with, that we like, that we think are doing great things. Cool office spaces obviously always says a lot because you want to keep your clients happy. I think, or rather employees happy. I think that's something in Access that we care about. So trying to align ourselves with clients and prospects that we feel like we would be a good fit for, not just big fish, more like a good fit.
Yeah, so you're looking to align values and kind of looking for the movers and shakers who have the opportunity and you have a chance to come in on that opportunity as well.
Yeah,
very smart. Okay, so the other question is, so let's hear you brag a little bit. Like what is, like for our Q5, we had brag a little, share the best story about how you picked up a new client. So what is your, like, I'm a rock star, of course I nailed this client story?
Well, I don't want to say I'm a rock star, but that was exciting.
I'll say it for you.
Because I was like really eager to hear what people's responses was. And I remember someone told me a great win story once. And I was like, I hope I have a story like that one day. It's going to sound really creepy. I gave this, shared this one. So I was going after a company called Belly, who actually no longer exists. They were bought out, but they were a really fun company in Chicago. I was trying to prospect them for a bit. And in our old building, we had a 7-Eleven, and I went down for my daily coffee and noticed there was someone wearing a Belly jacket. So I buddied up to him, started talking, let him know what I did. And I asked him to come up to my office so I could show him some swag. I know, that sounds terrible. He wasn't the buyer.
Murder. It could have gone either way there.
I'm happily married with 2 children. It was nothing like that. Just sounds like it. So I was like, I really just want to show you some samples, just give you a taste of what we can do. I know he had said he was like the person that rocked the swag and really believes in it. So he was really floored. Within a few minutes, he directly contacted me with the buyer, and we got a meeting within a week, and they became a great client of ours.
Awesome. So basically go out and have no fear. Like the worst is your shit down.
I mean, I'm pretty ballsy. I'm just gonna say it. But also, I think just keep your eyes open, right? My eyes are always open. I think in the swag world, we all are like looking at logos and all that good stuff. I was, I was head down with my eyes on the phone. My eyes were up, and I was looking at that logo on his chest and saying, "Oh, I recognize that logo. I've been trying to go up to that buyer. Let me see if he knows who to contact." I could have just very well got my coffee and gone back to my desk, but I thought it was a good
Yeah.
opportunity to seize the moment.
No, but I love that advice is like staying aware of what's going on. Like, I think it was Renya from Brand Aid a while ago where she said that what she does is she likes to sit in airports and look at what everyone is wearing and doing. And every time I like am on the plane, I'm always like, who has branded backpacks? Who, like, what water bottles are people drinking from? Like, what are the items that people are moving into their day-to-day life, and not just I got this at an event kind of like throw it in the back. Yeah, so the fact that you were out there and you were like, oh, this is like, A, you already had your radar up for that client, and then B, you were already like looking at swag in the outside world, like in the wild, essentially.
In the wild 7-Eleven.
Yeah. And then you lured them up to your swag lair and then got a client.
I hope my husband does not watch this.
Who knows? He might be learning a lot about you right now.
Yeah, he knows my deal at this point.
Yeah, he knows you're a mover and shaker. You're a rock star. So your final question for yourself is advice. What advice can you offer someone who wants to prospect and grow business? So what would be your like it's worth going back in that chat because people had some great advice on how to like stay up to date, like don't be afraid to fail, like all sorts of things. So what's your advice to everyone?
I agree. There was some great advice given by everyone in the chat that day. So kudos, guys. Honestly, my advice is get up and do it. So I think a lot of people talk the talk and don't walk the walk, and follow up, right? So if you're going to send Kate Plummer a mailer and think it's great, and don't expect Kate to call you. It's your job to say, Kate, what do you think of that mailer? Would love to talk to you. Do you have 5 minutes with me to put it in the calendar? And track back what you're doing. Track what you sent, Kate. I always say I'll never remember all the things that I do. So I make sure that I write down when I sent Kate Plummer, and I have a note of it and the date and when she received it. And I'm going to follow up and say, what you think? Can we talk? And you might say, I'm too busy, or you may not pick up, but that means I need to send you something else. So do it, follow through, and stay consistent. And I think once you see success with 1 or 2 or even 3 leads, you start to taste like, oh, this really works. The process works. I'm not going to say it's not overwhelming and cumbersome and a lot of time and commitment, but it really works. And you get to choose who you're going to work with, right? It's not just someone saying, here's a lead from a boring client. It's someone that you choose to work with. So if you do the work and follow up, there's definitely going to be end results.
Yeah, because you want to create it as a partnership. And if you're just sort of sending out things and then like sitting back and waiting for business to roll in, like that's not a partnership. That's that's laziness. So I love that, is like stay on top of it, hustle, and like keep going for it. So
yeah. And I think you're also like in that moment sort of proving yourself to that person, how you'll be as a business partner, right? So if Kate Plummer knows that I followed up with her 7 times before getting my first phone call, she's probably going to know that I won't drop the ball on a really important project. I had a client joke about it this morning with me. We were doing a screen share, and he was a prospect. We won the account. We're doing a store for him now. We were screen sharing, and halfway through the call, he wanted to share his screen with me. And he said, I need you to let me take control. And I was like fumbling on how to let him take control. And he's like, I see you don't let people do that a lot. I see you're very take control. I know that about you. And I was like, yeah, nailed it.
You're known from your clients now. It's perfect.
And it was funny and sassy. He's like, I hope I didn't offend you. I'm like, no, that's 100% me. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you if I wasn't that way.
Yeah. You go after it. So Jo, thank you so much for all your joining in as the Twitter takeover, for your advice, for everything. I hope everyone has something that they've taken away from this. And so where can we find you on the internet?
Okay, the best place to get me is LinkedIn. So it's Johanna Gottlieb, Gottlieb, and I'm with Access Promotions. You can find me there. I'm very responsive. So please feel free to connect. I always tell people I'm happy to help and share tips. And I love hearing success stories and what's working for you, because I definitely have way too much to learn. So feel free to see it. I also just noticed at the corner of my eye that you can see, you can pan over here, my Halloween costume. It's like peanut butter and jelly on the bed. Sorry for not cleaning that up. If anyone noticed, there's a peanut butter costume on my bed right now.
It just shows that you work together like peanut butter and jelly. Just spin it that
Smooth
way.
like peanut butter.
Well, don't worry about it at all. And so I want to thank Maple Ridge Farms for being a sponsor for our deep dive. And then as well, remember everyone to join in for these amazing conversations every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific. And
Yeah,
follow the hashtag PromoChat.
definitely do it. Get on there. It's fun.
Yeah, fabulous. Thanks, Joe. Take care.